So our next speaker for the evening is Magdalena-Thurin. Magdalena is a painter, thinker, and philanthropist. She has an extensive executive business experience, but she may most be defined by the topic that she came here to speak about, which is art, and its placement throughout all segments of society. She has more to say about art than anybody can unpack in 5 minutes, but we're grateful for the opportunity to hear her insight in how it can change our society, particularly when it comes to fighting poverty and improving education. Please welcome the art gift advocate, Magdalena Francois-Thurin.
Sounds okay? Yes? It's a very shy yes. Is that really okay? Good. So I'm Magdalena Francois-Thurin. Good evening, everyone. We're good to go. So I'm here tonight to talk about a project called the Art Gift, which purpose is to collect and donate art pieces to underprivileged families and neighborhood. It's based on a very simple idea. Art is not accessible to all, and this is a social issue. There is a very direct link between quality of education, access to art, and poverty. Quality of education is the lowest where incomes are the lowest. And in turn, the lack of quality education nourishes poverty. In the city of Houston alone, 25% of the population, that's 500,000 people, live below the poverty average. This is a social issue in the sense that when times are tough and when budgets are being cut, education budgets are the first to go. And within education budgets, art is the first topic to suffer and to go away. In Chicago in 2011, as an example, 42% of elementary schools did not have a full-time music or art teacher. It was not always the case. 30,000 years ago, cavemen used to actually express ideas and feelings very freely through art. Art is the most natural and the most profound communication media. Michelangelo said, "A man paints with his brains, not with his hands." And he went as far as to put a brain on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel to show the supremacy of the human intellect over any type of ideology. Apart from the distinction between the left brain, the rational one, and the right brain, the creative one, there are many parts in our brain that are activated in wonderful ways when we practice art. Let's take a look, for example, at what happens to our brain when we listen to music. Not only music activates different parts of our brain, but it also activates them so that they connect with each other and that they participate wonderfully to our development. If we take a deeper dive in the human cerebrum, we can look at a part that is actually called the thalamus and where alertness resides. It is activated wonderfully when we paint or when we just look at something that we find beautiful. The hippocampus, where our memory lies, it's always activated by art, and that's very important. When we paint or when we listen to music, just as when we meditate, the activity of the amygdala, where fear and emotion reside, and it's located about here, and at the same time, the prefrontal cortex activity is boosted up. Between 0 to 5, a child brain develops more than during any period of the life of a human being. By exposing young children to art, we give them access to a very different and to a completely new world, and that's very important. We help them to be better students, we help them to become better citizens. Art has a very important social role to play because it helps challenge consensus and ideas in a non-violent and respectful ways, and we all need that. Art can actually make us better persons. Actually, there is something you can try. Go there and buy a canvas, brushes and colors, and give that away as a gift to somebody that you know and who is not necessarily the most pleasant person on earth. And come on, we know at least one. I can see it on your faces. And you might actually see a change in the way that these people connect with each other, react to different situations. Art gives us perspective. It gives us a new way to look at things. Look at this picture. Do you recognize I-10 on this picture? Not necessarily. And this is what art does for us. It gives us a new way to look at problems, to look at challenges, and to find different solutions. There is no right or wrong in art. by intending to place art at the core of homes of people who would have never thought of it as part of their world or as affordable to them, both socially and financially. That's what we want to do, is to open their eyes to a different world and to give them access to a different world. You remember Pretty Woman, Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman? This is exactly it. You do not need education to enjoy art. You do not need knowledge to appreciate art. And you do not need skills to get the benefits of accessing art. There are many initiatives already in Houston, everywhere in the world, to make art accessible to all. And what we want to do with the art gift is to be one additional pebble to this cathedral in the making. So if you want to join the movement, if you're interested in joining this movement, if you know artists that are willing to donate, well, let them know about us. If you're an artist and you're willing to donate, well, please feel free. You know where to find us now. And most importantly, if you know families that are willing to receive this gift of art, well, let us know about them. Think for a moment how you would feel if you were given a piece of art that you would have never thought that you could afford and that will become yours to have and to hold on to forever. Thank you, Ignite, for the opportunity. Have a great night, people. It was really fun to talk to you tonight.